Welcome students to the online learning of South International School. This is Sumita and this video includes grade 10 science, chapter number 10, light, reflection and refraction. So let's start with what is light. Light is a form of energy that provides sensation of vision. Now, how does light provide sensation of vision? Why can we see the objects only in presence of light? Because this light rays goes and hits the surface, and the rays that is going and hitting the surface reflects back, and it will come and hit our eyes and we see the objects. Now suppose a ball in front of me is pink in color and I can see only that pink colored ball. Why? Because when the ray of light goes and hit the surface, a ray of light contains of 7 primary colors. Okay, so it is having 7 colors. So when it goes and hits the surface, already the object is painted pink in color. So the object, the ball, will absorb all the other colors, but it will reflect the wavelength of pink color, and the reflected pink colored wavelength ray that will come and hit our eyes, and we can see the object as pink color. Now suppose a desk in front of us is black in color. Okay, you have an object in front of you, it is black in color. Now why do you see it as black? Because it will absorb all the 7 colors and it will reflect no light. So that's why we see that object black in color. Now suppose we can see the walls of walls in our room is painted white. Why can we see it as white? Because it will not absorb any of the colors and it will reflect all the colors. And when it is reflecting all the colors, again all the 7 colors will join and it will form a white beam of light, and we can see that object as white. Okay, so now we have certain terms and certain definitions related to this chapter. So first one is ray of light. Ray of light means a light which is coming from a source and hitting a surface. You can see here that in the with the term ray of light I have given a figure. The ray of light is coming and it reflects on a surface. Take it as any of the surface and it moves back. So this is a ray of light, only one ray of light. Now a beam of light means a, a ray of light coming from a torch. Okay, it is a beam of light. The ray of light coming from a sun, it is beam of light. Next is parallel beam of light. Now parallel beam means lots of rays that is parallel and coming and hitting any of the surface. It is known as parallel beam of light. Next is divergent. Divergent means suppose you have a surface and when all the ray of light move to different directions, it is diverging, means it is moving in different directions. The source will be one only, the ray of light will be one, but it will hit the surface and it will move to different directions. Here you can see the angles are different. Okay, the reflected angle is different, so it is known as divergent ray. Convergent ray. Convergent ray means when this ray of light all will meet at one point. When it meets at one point, it is convergent. When it is from one point, it is moving to different directions, it is known as divergent. Now next we have properties of light. It needs no medium to travel, okay, as it is an electromagnetic wave. It travels in a straight line. It has dual nature, means it can move in a wave form and particle form. Wave form we already studied in grade 9, that the light waves move in a transverse way. Next is particle. Particle means it has lot of energy in the forms of photons and it moves with the help of that energy. Next is it can cast a shadow. The speed of in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and when this light falls on any of the surface, it undergoes 3 processes: reflection, absorption and refraction. So let's see what is reflection. The first figure, reflection, means the ray of light comes and hits a surface and it moves back. It is reflection. Refraction, the ray of light gets into a surface and it will bend a bit. You can see a little bending of light in the second figure, and it will again come out of that surface. That is refraction. So reflection means it will go and hit the surface, it will move back in the same direction. Refraction, the ray of light, the incident ray is one from one direction and it will move and it will go and hit the other. So it will be coming from the other direction, but the angle will be a bit different. The angle, it will change its angle. That means the ray of light is bent a bit. Third is absorption, means it will be absorbed by the surface. Okay, now for this example you can see when you are keeping any of when you are hanging a piece of cloth in sunlight, the ray of light will come and hit the object, that is the cloth, and it will absorb that light and the clothes will be dried. That is absorption. Refracted means it will hit the surface and it will move into that surface. Suppose you have kept a object in a bucket of water. Okay, so the ray of light will be inserted in that bucket filled with water. When the ray of light is coming, it is in the air medium. When it will enter into that bucket filled with water, it will enter into a water medium, so its angle will be changed. And reflection means you can see any of the object on lying on the ground, because the ray of light from the sun will hit that object and it will reflect back. So that is reflection. Now in this reflection you have certain laws of reflection. There are two main important laws of reflection, that is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. You can see in the figure that incident ray, the ray that is coming from a source of light, is an incident ray, and the ray that is moving back is a reflected ray, and there is a perpendicular line, that is a dotted imaginary line, that is a normal, that is known as normal. So the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, where I have marked I, that is angle of incidence, and the region R is angle of reflection. Every time suppose the angle with which the incident ray is hitting the surface is 50 degrees, so when it will move back, it will get reflected, the reflected angle will also be 50 degrees. Next is the angle of incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. You can see that you can see the surface, all the ray, incident ray, normal ray, and the reflected ray, all is above that surface. That means all of them lie in a same plane. Next is what is a virtual image and what is a real image. What is an image? A point where two rays meet, actually or appear to meet. When they actually meet, it forms a real image, and when it appears to meet, it forms a virtual image. Now let's see what is the difference between a real image and a virtual image. In a real image, the light rays actually meet, and in a virtual image, they appear to meet. Suppose in real image we can see the object. Suppose we are seeing any of the objects, that is the real image of the objects. And virtual image is the image that we see in a mirror. Okay, we are standing in front of the mirror, but we see our image in the another behind the mirror. So that is a virtual image. In real image, the image is obtained on the screen, but in a virtual image it cannot be obtained on a screen. The real image is inverted. Okay, suppose it is inverted means, suppose we have the arrow will be on top portion, but in image the arrow you can see is in the downward portion. But in case of virtual image, it is erect, means it is a straight image. Now examples you can take of real image is the image that is captured on the cinema hall, that is a real image. A virtual image, as I told you, the plane mirror forms a real image. The plane mirror, we can take an example of the mirror in our houses. It forms a erect and the straight image, so that is a virtual image. Now now in this chapter we will learn about plane mirror, spherical mirrors. How image is formed in a spherical mirror, how image is formed in a plane mirror. So before Starting with the images formed on the plane mirror, let's see what are the characteristics of image formed on a plane mirror. The image formed on a plane mirror is virtual and erect. Virtual means the rays of light appear to meet and the image will be behind the mirror. Okay, so it will be virtual and erect. The size of the object and the size of the image will be same. Okay, suppose we are standing in front of the mirror, we are keeping a pencil in front of the mirror. The image of the pencil will not be bigger, it will not be thin, it will not be thick. It will be same as that pencil. So that means the size of the image and the object is same. The distance between mirror and the object and is equal to the distance between the mirror and the image. Now suppose you have kept a pencil in front of the mirror and the distance between the mirror and the pencil is 5 centimeters. So the image, that is the image from behind the mirror, will also be at a 5-meter distance. That means the distance from the mirror to the object and to the image will be same. Then next is it forms a lateral inverted image. What is lateral inverted? We can also determine this to make it is also known as lateral inversion. Now what is lateral inversion? You're standing in front of a mirror and you're raising your left hand, but in your image you feel that it is a right hand. You are raising your right hand, so in front of the mirror it is your left hand. Okay, now another example of lateral inversion is you can see that the ambulance is written in an inverted way. Why it is written in inverted way? So that when a driver is watching it from his mirror and he sees it on the mirror, it will be readable as ambulance. Okay, so that is lateral inversion. So here we complete the introduction of light. Now this is the part 1 of chapter number 10.